let's talk about Kevin Durant.
Sure.
Give me some stories of Kevin Durant in high school. Give me some, like, his work ethic, his drive, like his personality, his just give me some, like, because he's such, I mean, people, I mean, when he's at his peak, you could put him at the top 2 or 3 in the world, if not sometimes at the top 1. I mean, he's that talented, right?
Yeah.
Give me some stories of Kevin Durant, because I find him fascinating and such an, and I mean, I really don't like him playing for Brooklyn, but I mean, but give me some stories of Kevin. I think that
Sure. Well, to paint a broader picture, Kevin obviously had the physical gifts. I mean, he was incredibly tall. He had a great wingspan, was long, had tremendous hand-eye coordination, could run for days. So he certainly passed the eyeball test. But above and beyond that, I mean, Kevin was an absolute gym rat. I mean, his passion for the game and love for the game was unparalleled. There is no place in the world he would rather be than in the gym, putting up shots and working on his game, even to this day. And I know, he's older now. He's got other aspects of his life. He's not just about basketball. He has grown and matured to the point where, he's an investor. He does a lot of different things, but I still believe in my heart that if Kevin had to pick one place that he'd like to be, it would be at a park somewhere, putting up shots, working on his game. He loves the game that much. And, when you blend that passion for the game with the physical tools and the fact he was incredibly humble and coachable, he was very open to receiving feedback, that if you had something that could make him a better player, he was all ears. He didn't have a know-it-all mentality. He wanted to learn from as many people as he could. And he had a respect for the game. Like, he respected the process. He respected the players that came before him. He respected the fundamentals. He never tried to skip steps. And I think when you put all of that together, that's where you kind of had the makings of being a great player. But, of the vast many stories that I could tell about Kevin, this is one of my favorite, because it really clued me in to the fact that he was a terrific young man, and that no matter how good he was going to become as a player, because none of us had any idea that this kid at 14 or 15 would end up being one of the top 3 players in the NBA. To many people's account, the best scorer in the NBA at present. I mean, we didn't know he was going to be that good. We knew he was going to be good, but to know that his character would be able to support that, I found out because I lived about an hour away from him, and I would get up super early in the morning, drive an hour to pick him up from his apartment and take him to work out before school would actually start. And these were some pretty early mornings. And the first portion of which we would work out at a local kind of YMCA club near his house. And one morning we're there super early. You're talking 5:30 in the morning, which most teenagers would prefer not to be up at 5:30 in the morning. They're not necessarily enthusiastic at that hour. And understandably, it was a cold morning. Kevin was, he had his slides on, he had his hood on, didn't say a word to me in the car. And we start walking into this YMCA, and we pass the lady that was working at the front desk. And I didn't ask for her ID, but I'm guessing she was 75 years old. I mean, she was on the older end, wonderfully sweet lady. And she said, "Good morning, guys." And Kevin just kind of had his head down, and he kept walking by her. And you could tell that she was a little offended by that. She said, "I said, good morning, guys." And for a split second, I was thinking, all right, I don't know how this is going to go. You've got a probably tired and ornery and irritated teenager who's having this older person kind of scold them in so few words. And I wasn't sure how he was going to respond. And Kevin turned around and he took his hood off and he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Good morning." And then walked into the gym. And I knew at that moment, I was dealing with a really good kid. I was dealing with a high character kid. He realized in that moment that he should have been more polite and more respectful. And he quickly moved to the next play, and he made amends for that. And all basketball stuff aside, I knew in that moment, this is a solid young man with solid character. And that's obviously the foundation one needs to build the type of career and legacy that he's built. And I knew in that moment, I'm really lucky to work with this kid.